Hi everybody and welcome back or welcome to my channel by hook or by needles. Today is another of my weekly cowl updates. I'm doing two crochet alongs, which are both blankets, and one knit along, and then I'm just doing also a hexi-cardigan, a Tunisian hexi-cardigan, um, just because. Okay, so let's start with this. This is my Arne and Carlos update to the stocking, the Christmas stocking. Now, I would have thought a heel might be coming in to play soon, but I've got a feeling that this year they're doing an afterthought heel. Now, that will require um, putting in a lifeline, and actually inserting some stitches to make the heel later on. And I made a mistake up here. Yes, I did. I should have had a row of white, an extra row of white, but I cut the yarn and I thought, oh, I'm not I'm not reconnecting the yarn for one round. Yeah, it's unique. But that's coming along really nicely. It's only 6 rows a day, so it's really quite easy to sort of keep up with that. Now, the second thing I will show you will be my Hexi-Cardigan. Now, this is, yeah, look, I know there is a mistake here. And there is a mistake. Well, that's not a mistake over here. That's actually the yarn is as thick there for some reason. It's really thick, so it makes it look like an error. There's a few errors. Am I worried? Not particularly, because A, they are fairly close at this point to where the underarm is going to be. So, like, I don't think you're going to see them, to be perfectly honest. So, but I'm really loving how this is coming out. Yeah, and there's a few more errors that you can sort of see. Hang on, which side is it? On this side down. You can see the errors anyway. You can see where I've made a few mistakes, but I've been extra careful not to make that same mistakes again. And what I have done with those mistakes is with the forward pass, I sometimes pick up the stitch, but I don't work it. I pick up the stitch and I don't pull through another loop. So that's what's causing that awkwardness, because when I come to do the backward pass and the next forward pass, I've got like a really long stitch. Now I could leave it as a really long stitch. That might make the error not look as bad, but what I've been doing is picking it up and doing it, and yeah, I probably should have left it. But anyway, I'm happy with it. Now the other cows are the Universe in Bloom. I will show you that. This is my Universe in Bloom. Now you can see that there's like a lacy blue outer, and that is all part 5 was. I've got a little bit of a feeling that these parts really aren't very evenly distributed or spaced out, because this part 5 was really short and easy to get done. And of course you can see Joey there sniffing the flowers. I'm really pleased with the way this one is going along. This part, now that we are working all the way around again and we're not working in little sections, I suspect that we're going to stay working maybe like that, with the exception of when we get to the corners, which I have got here, and I'll show you the corners. But yeah, I suspect that we will be working very much in the round from here on out. You may remember the corners. Here's one of the corners. These were done as This was the first thing she showed us to do as our gauge swatch. I don't ever worry about gauge when I'm doing a blanket, but yeah, and my piece was actually larger than it should have been, but I'm not worried about that. If I had to buy some more yarn, I'd like to buy some more yarn. But I made 4 of these, so these were obviously done in parts, and they will be added to the blanket at some stage. So yeah. Did I move the mouse? My microphone. Okay. So yeah, so they're the 4 sort of corners. So that obviously will be added in little bits, but I think for the most part, we are going to be working very much until we get to that stage. I'm hoping in full rounds, which does make it go a lot quicker. Okay, so next up we have the what's it called? Solstice Star. Here we go. And as you can see, Joey is in shot again, doing his quality control. This part is part 5. There are only 2 parts left to this cow, which is probably just as well, because when I finished these next 2 parts, I've got a feeling that the universe in bloom is going to be so big by the time I get to, part 8, that I'll be grateful not having to have the second blanket to have to work on at the same time. So that is all of the updates. I'm really got to say I'm enjoying this, and if you can see on the last round of this Solstice Star, you can see little bubbles, red, green, red, green, red, green. That's actually 2 rows. So the first row she's done is in green. We've done was it a popcorn? I think it was a popcorn, and then a bit of a chain, skipped a few stitches, and a popcorn. And then we go around with the red, but we work over the chain, or in front of the red chain, I should say, to give it the effect that we've actually, alternated yarn colors, which we haven't done. I guess if you wanted to, you could have done both of these rounds at the same time and just alternated your popcorns. I can't see why you wouldn't have been able to do that. But yeah, and it was a lot of popcorns, I do admit. Uh, yeah. But having said that, I think it was 440 popcorns. Yeah, that's that's a lot of popcorns. And so if you don't like popcorns, I know a lot of people, what they do when they do Helen Shrimpton's patterns, if they don't like a certain thing, she's pretty okay with you changing it up. And some people might replace it with clusters. Some people might replace it with something totally different. It's up to you. You don't even, you can just do those. As long as you get the stitch count the same, you can replace it with anything that you really want to. You could do just 2 rounds of double crochets. It really wouldn't matter, as long as I say you stick with the same stitch count. So those are the updates. I'm putting this out a little bit earlier. I'm just trying to see if I can increase views by putting things on at a different time. So I'm going to put this out a little bit earlier than I normally would, just to see if that sort of helps at all. So yeah, and if it does, I'll make this the regular time when I post my updates. It's currently 2 a.m. here in Australia. Yeah, it's 2 a.m. and I'm wide awake. But I've been asleep most of the day. I tend to do that a lot. I sleep during the day and I'm up at night. I've always been that way. I think it's my daughter said she's the same, and she calls it a cicada rhythm. or something. Anyway, she says it's, different people will find that they have different hours of the day that they are peak activity, and my peak activity day hours seem to really be around about 2 a.m. But that's okay. It works for me, and I'm not worried about that. So anyway, thank you for watching. Please remember to give me a thumbie, and if you're not already subscribed, make sure you do, because don't forget, I am doing subscriber blankets. Now, I'm going to explain my subscriber blankets. Let me just grab it out. Oh, here's Joey. I think he might be coming to do another quality control check. Okay, so here is my knitted, and this is only half the width. It is twice the width of this. Now, this is my knitted subscribers blanket. Now, let me explain them just really quickly. Subscribers blanket, for every 5 new subscribers I get, I add a row to the blanket. Now, this one will be given away after 1,500 subscribers. I do have a crochet one, which will be given away after 1,000 subscribers. That's a lot bigger and heavier, and depending on what's happening with tariffs and posting stuff to the US, I'm not sure if Australia has resumed posting packages to the US yet or not. And of course, I don't know when I'm going to get to 1,000 subscribers. I am less than 200 away now. I think I'm about 190 away. So I'm getting quite close. Yep, Joey. You're a naughty boy. You fight your sister all the time. He is always fine. It's really vicious, nasty fights. I mean, they never do any damage to each other. So I'm pretty sure it's not. They're not malicious fights. They're just like play fights. But boy, literally the fur flies. Anyway, so if you're not yet subscribed, make sure you are subscribed, because you can't be in a chance to win it unless you are subscribed. And that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you all had a wonderful Halloween. We don't really do that in Australia. Well, not in my area. It's not a big thing. I certainly had no one knocking for, trick-or-treating. But then I am on a main road, and like I say, the area I'm in isn't a huge sort of trick-or-treating area. But I hope you all had a great weekend past, and I will see you next week with hopefully parts 6 done on both the blankets and a little bit more done on my Hexi-Cardigan. Till then, bye for now.